This simple scheduling mistake could be costing you a lot of productivity, a lot of mental overhead, and in general, just causing you problems. In this video, I want to share with you something I've worked on over the years that can help you in so many ways, not only from your productivity, but your time management, your stress levels, everything else. Let's get into it. I'm Adam with the Productivity Academy, and today I want to talk about the misconception that busy equals productive, which I think is being kind of broken down or has been, although there's still kind of the hustle culture of like, you've got to work in order to be productive. But I want to look at this from a couple of different angles, point out some of the issues, show you how this can benefit you, and give you some concrete things that you can put to use in your everyday life so that you can be more productive and spend more time doing what you want to do while also staying on track, whether that's your life, your career, your focus, whatever that might be. So let's talk about the real cost of if you're running at, 100% or plus in some case, people schedule out their days and then we have things come up that are inevitable. Everyone has fires to put out. Something happens at home, your partner's got an issue, your kids need help, whatever it is, and you're going to have stuff thrown at you. So from the most basic perspective, you want to leave some flex time in order to account for projects, tasks running over, things that come up, because you're going to end up having more to do than you think. And if not, great. You've got some free time to either allocate towards those existing projects, do something else, read a book, whatever that might be. Now, some other real cost with this, if you're fully booking yourself, right, you end up having that stress and decreased creativity. I kind of find that those go hand in hand. That shouldn't be a surprise. But if you're stressed out all the time, that you're just, treading water or just trying to keep going, you don't have time to kind of look at things, take a step back, and maybe take that strategic view. And for me, this was something I had to kind of work on myself to realize like, oh, I don't need to constantly be in that mode. I definitely need to do things. I need to go out and rake some leaves. I need to record this video. I don't have a production company or anything like that, but we need to take that time to step back and look at things from a higher level, a higher view. Also, if emergencies come up, they turn into true emergencies. And instead of being able to either anticipate them or maybe put out the fire quickly, it's now added on top of an already full schedule, and that's going to be a problem. And last but not least, I think, is missing opportunities. And this can be really good if you position yourself so that you're ready to act on something, whether it's a new project coming up, it's a business opportunity, it's a book or some media you want to use to learn. Being able to jump on that opportunistically can be great. And if you already have some time built in for these, then you're good to go. If not, it becomes either a missed opportunity or kind of feels or turns into a burden. So we can look at the opposite of this, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I think you would agree with me that, well, what are the benefits of this? Well, it's the opposite case of that. If you give yourself some built-in time, you have some wiggle room in your schedule, then you have the ability, right, to take on an additional project. You have time to finish that task that ended up taking you longer than you thought it would. You end up being able to seize these opportunities as they come up. So I think one way you can do this is to introduce kind of the buffer zone. And I'm not going to tell you what works best for you. I'm going to give you some ideas and let you take it from there. What I mean by this is that I can tell you should use a 70-30 rule and keep 30% of your time on schedule, but that might be completely unrealistic for you. It's not exactly what I do. So the idea, though, is the same. Start to bucket or block off some time so that you have some flexibility. And maybe for you, that makes sense to do on a daily basis, right? That, if you have lunch at noon, maybe you don't schedule meetings or have anything until 1 o'clock, but really lunch only takes 30 minutes. So you're just giving yourself that extra 30 minutes. Maybe it's a bigger block of time, which personally I would recommend, and I do on a more regular basis. Frequently good times for this might be towards the end of the week so that you're not feeling overwhelmed when you come in on Monday and you've got to be strategic. But towards the end of the week, you can now plan for that and say, okay, the last half of Friday morning, I'm taking that time, and give yourself a couple of things to do with that time. You don't need to fill it up, right? Again, we're not trying to book that time up, but you might say, hey, during that time, if I have nothing else that, really has to be done, I might do my weekly review then. I might just think about, hey, are the projects I've been working on, is that the stuff I really want to be doing? Am I hunting the big game, or am I going after mice? Is there other things? Just give yourself potentially some prompts and just sit down and say, hey, if I have nothing else going on, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on this, and then I can do whatever else it is. And building in that strategic time, and then building that and changing it over time. Finding out what's important to you. Is it important that you read? Is there industry news that you want to stay up on and you find yourself not having time for it? That could be an effective use of that time. There's tons of stuff out there. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do, just trying to give you some ideas of some things you can do. And again, some higher level looking reflection can go a long ways here. So we've talked about, how you can do this. I think that to get a little bit more specific on this, I would 100% recommend putting this into your calendar. Make sure you're blocked off as busy. You don't get meetings scheduled during this time. You don't have people planning anything for it. And that way it becomes, in a sense, more real that it's in your calendar. Assuming that you're using that, whatever system you use, start to block that off so it takes shape, and then you can add those reminders again to maybe a prompt of something to write or think about, anything that you want to do during this time. And if you need it, something like a decision-making matrix. I've got one I will link in the description below that helps me. And I use it for planning sometimes when I've got a lot of projects or a lot of things I want to work on. I've got a lot of neat ideas, but we've got to narrow it down. We can't have 18 things that we're working on. And so helping ourselves put some numbers to that can be really effective. And that's something you could also do during this time. If you'd like more help and insights like this, you can subscribe to the Productivity Academy newsletter and find out more about that at news.productivity.academy. I send out twice a week. On Mondays, I send out a short tip, something quick hit to help you out. On Wednesdays, a little bit longer form on content just like this to help you with your personal productivity, time management, automation, all that sort of good stuff. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you.